this lesson, you're going to learn how to solve systems of equations by substitution. To solve systems of equations by substitution, you're going to first solve for one variable in at least one of the equations. For example, if your equation is 2x plus y is equal to 3, you would want to get either y or x by itself. Step 2 wants you to substitute the resulting expression into the other equation. So you'll have two different equations. So let's just say 2x plus y equal to 3 was one equation, and let's just say y equal to 3x plus 1 was your other equation. To substitute the resulting expression into the other equation is to take what y is equal to, which is 3x plus 1, and to completely replace y with it. For example, 2x plus instead of y, what y is equal to, which is 3x plus 1, and then bring down the remaining of the equation. Step 3 wants you to solve that equation to get the value of the first variable. So if this was our example, we would solve this equation by combining like terms and finish solving for x. Step 4, we're going to substitute that value into one of the original equations and solve. Step 5, we're going to write the values from step 3 and 4 as an ordered pair x, y. So here's our first example. What is the solution of the system of equations? So step 1 tells you to solve for one of the variables, which is already done for us. Our first equation, we have y equal to 6x plus 7. So we're going to completely substitute y, as step 2 says, with that 6x plus 7. So our 3x minus 8, open up your parentheses and put your 6x plus 7, close your parentheses, bring down the rest of the equation, and then we solve. To solve, we'll need to distribute this negative 8 into the parentheses first. That is going to give us a negative 48x. Negative 8 times negative 7 is going to give us negative 56. We're then going to bring everything else down, our equal sign, 4, and that 3x that was in the front. Now we're going to combine our like terms, which are here. 3x minus 48x is going to give us a negative 45x. I'm going to bring everything else down. My minus 56 equal to 4. Next step is to add 56 to the other side of this equation. Negative 45x is going to equal 60. And our last step is to divide negative 45 on both sides. So we have what x is equal to, but it's not in simplest form. 15 can go into both 60 and 45. So I am going to divide both numerator and denominator by 15. So when I do that, I see that my x is going to equal negative 4 over 3. Now we're going to find y. So you take one of your original equations, doesn't matter which one. I'm picking the easiest one, which is the y equal to 6x plus 7. I know that x is negative 4 over 3, so I'm going to completely replace x with that value. So y is going to equal 6. Open up my parentheses, negative 4 over 3. Bring down my plus 7. I am then going to multiply here. I end up with 6 times negative 4 is negative 24 over 3 plus 7. I'm going to get my denominators the same, multiplying by 3, multiplying by 3. This is going to give me 21. So I end up with negative 24 plus 21 all over 3 for my y, which is going to give me negative 3 over 3, or negative 1. So the solution we write as an ordered pair, x, y. X is negative 4 over 3. Y is negative 1. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this one on your own and then unpause to check your solution. So x equal to y plus 6. We're going to completely replace x now with y plus 6 because that's what x is equal to. So in place of x, I'm going to have my y plus 6. I am going to bring everything else down. So my plus y equal to 10. I am then going to solve the equation. I have y here and here. Y plus y is going to give me 2y. I am then going to bring down that plus 6 equal to 10. My next step is to subtract 6 on both sides. 6 cancels. 2y is going to equal 4. And when I divide, I end up with a y of positive 2. Knowing that y is positive 2, I am going to take that first equation of x equal to y plus 6, and I'm going to take that y of 2, and I'm going to replace y with it. So x is going to equal 2 plus 6. X will equal 8. So when I write my solution, I am going to make sure x is first, which is 8, and y is second of 2. You don't want to do all that work and then write your ordered pair wrong. A vacation resort offers surfing lessons and parasailing. If a person takes a surfing lesson and goes parasailing, she will pay a total of $175. On Friday, the resort collects a total of $3,101 for activities shown in the photo. How much does each activity cost? All right, so for the lessons, it's a total of $175. All right, so X is going to represent, let's start here. I'll just point. Parasailing is going to represent X. Surfing is going to represent Y. So if 16 people go parasailing, 16x is going to represent that amount. If 20 people take surfing lessons, 20y is going to represent that amount. And they collect a total of $3,101. So that's what I'll set it equal to. My second equation, if a person takes a surfing lesson and goes parasailing, she will pay a total of $175. So X plus Y is going to equal $175 is our second equation. Okay, so to solve using substitution, I need to get either X or Y by itself. So I am going to look at my second equation because that's the equation that's easiest to isolate either X or Y. I am simply going to isolate X by subtracting Y on both sides. Y cancels, and X will equal 175 minus Y. So if X is equal to 175 minus Y, I can completely replace X in the first equation with that 175 minus Y. So my coefficient of 16 is still going to be there. Open up the parentheses, 175 minus Y, then bring everything else down. Your positive 20Y is equal to 3,101. We're then going to distribute. I end up with 2,800 minus 16y. I'll bring everything else down, my positive 20y, my equation, and what is equal to. During the next step, I am going to subtract 2,800 on both sides. 2,800 is going to cancel. I also have like terms that I can combine here. Negative 16 plus 20 is 4y, equal to, that difference is 301. My last step is to divide 4 on both sides, and I'll get what y is equal to, which is 75.25. Now that I know that y is equal to 75.25, I can find x by replacing y in that equation that I isolated x with. So x is going to equal 175 minus 75.25. So x is going to equal 99.75. And that is how much each activity is going to cost, remembering that the x values represents parasailing, and 75.25 represents the cost for the surfing lessons. What is the solution of each system of equations? Okay, so in this system, we have y by itself in the first equation. We have what y is equal to, so I am going to completely replace y in the second equation. So my 6x, I'll bring that down, minus 2, open up the parentheses, what y is equal to, which is 3x plus 1. Close the parentheses, it's equal to negative 2. I am then going to distribute this negative 2 into the parentheses. I end up with negative 6x minus 2. I'll bring everything else down, my other 6x, my equal to, and my negative 2. 6x minus 6x is 0. That cancels. I end up with negative 2 is equal to negative 2, which is an identity. And identities have infinitely many solutions. Part B, I see that y is equal to 5x plus 4 in the second equation. So I am going to completely replace y in that first equation. So in my first equation, I have 5x minus y. So open up your parentheses. Y is 5x minus 4. Close your parentheses. Bring everything else down, my equal sign, and negative 4. Now be careful, because that subtraction that you see in front of those parentheses represents a negative 1 that you'll need to distribute. So we'll end up with negative 5x. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. I am then going to bring down my 5x, my equal sign, and negative 4. 5x minus 5x is 0. I'm left with 4 is equal to negative 4, which is no solution. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can solve each system of equation, and then unpause to check your solution. All right, so in part A, we have y equal to negative x plus 5. So we should be replacing y with it in the first equation. So the first equation starts with x plus, and then there's a y. So I'm going to open up my parentheses and put my negative x plus 5. And then I'm going to bring down the remaining of the equation equal to negative 4. I am then going to combine like terms. X plus negative x is 0. It cancels. I'm left with 5 is equal to negative 4, which is no solution. Part B, we have y equal to negative 2x plus 5. I am going to completely replace y in the second equation. So I am going to bring down my 2x plus, open up my parentheses. My negative 2x plus 5 is going to go in there. I'll bring the rest of my equation down and then combine like terms. 2x plus negative 2x is 0. It cancels. 5 is equal to 5 is left, which is an identity. So we have infinitely many solutions. Okay, in this problem, Nate starts a lawn mowing business. In his business, he has expenses and revenue. Nate's expenses are the cost of the lawnmower and gas, and his revenue is $25 per lawn. At what point will Nate's revenue exceed his expenses? So when the revenue will be greater than the expenses is what they want to know. All right, so to start, we're going to write the system. So his revenue is $25 per lawn. So I'm going to have my X values represent the lawns, and my Y represent the money. So Y is going to equal 25X is one of our equations. Our second equation we form by creating an equation for, well, we already have the revenue for the expenses, okay? So the lawnmower is going to cost him $200, and then gasoline is $2 per lawn. So Y is going to equal 2X, that represents how much he's going to pay in gasoline per lawn, plus the cost of the lawnmower, which is $200. Now we use substitution. Doesn't matter which equation we start with. I see that Y is equal to 25X. So I am going to replace Y in the second equation with 25X. And I'm going to bring everything else down. My equal sign, 2x plus 200. I then combine like terms, subtracting 2x on both sides. I end up with 23x is equal to 200. And then I divide 23 on both sides. And I see that x is about 8.69. So at what point will Nate's revenue exceed his expenses? 9 lawns.